This is something that's super important, especially in today's day and age, because we tend to associate guidance with intelligence. We tend to act like if somebody is smart enough, then they'll figure it out. All they have to do is collect the evidence, right? And they'll be convinced, or they'll figure out what they need, and then they'll believe. Okay, that might work for some people, but that's not everybody. No, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't grant you guidance, doesn't grant you understanding, you're never going to get it. It's not all in your control. It's not all within your power. Doesn't matter how smart you are. In fact, being intelligent might actually be something that works against you if you're arrogant, if you have an impure heart. And so we have to realize that we rely on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide us. And this guidance is sort of this interplay between our sincerity and His granting us understanding. If we're not sincere, Allah's not going to grant us understanding, okay? Which is why some of the ulama, right, in our tradition, if they had a particular problem that they couldn't figure out, or they were stuck, they would go hit the prayer mat. They would go worship, because they understood that their worship and their devotion was actually the tool to gain understanding. It wasn't just, doing crossword puzzles or trying to build your vocabulary, all these materialistic sort of means that we rely on today, right? It first comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah Azza wa Jal is responsible for your guidance. This is why we should never also look down upon other people who haven't received guidance, or who are maybe not as guided or still struggling, maybe, compared to us, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grants guidance. And so it's His provision. And He is the one who allocates it with wisdom or without. Some people look at somebody and they might be the worst person on earth when it comes to their manners or the things that they do. They might oppress other people, and yet Allah guided them to the truth. And yet Allah guided them to Islam. And people could, in their sense of pride and arrogance, be like, how could Allah guide this person? This isn't fair. Something's going on here. Nah, Allah guides who He wants. It's up to Allah. It's not up to you. And Allah knows better than you do who should be guided and who should be given faith. And then there's other people where you look at this person, it's like, oh, they're so nice, and they have this and they have that, and if only they were Muslim. They're practically there. And then they die on kufr. And you want to make excuses for them. You want to pray for them. You want to do these other things. But at the end of the day, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows better than you do who deserves His guidance and who doesn't deserve His guidance.